Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff McChesney. I'm the CEO and founder and the inventor of TargetArm. And what I'm going to share with you today is a dual use application, starting off with our package delivery solution and moving into the military. Next slide, please. Okay, so one of the things is imagine yourself where you're asking for something on your cell phone that you're asking you to get delivered, and it shows up in your house in less than 10 minutes. Or on the military side, if you don't have to stop, get out, set up, launch a drone and wait for it to come back and possibly get shot in that process. And in both cases, using the exact same solution by being able to deliver things while you're moving. Next slide, please. Well, that capability is available today, and it's a product called Tular. And the Tular allows the any moving object, any vehicle, plane, train, car, ship, to launch both rotary wing and fixed wing drones autonomously while they're on the move. Because of that, it also works in high wind conditions. Next slide, please. Please play the video.
Go ahead.
Introducing Tular.
Can everybody hear?
Package delivery.
Yeah, can you go full screen?
Tular pops up and down through the roof. The patented design is elegant but simple, revolutionizing package delivery while on the move. Deliver packages while stopped and while moving. Tular launches and recovers both rotary wing and fixed wing drones. Enables high cycle rates and return for more packages at air speeds over 65 miles per hour. Due to its universal breech, bolt-on design and modular components, Tular can easily be resized to fit onto our combat arms, providing all maneuvering forces at every echelon with their own rotary and fixed-wing UAV capability. Capture the future.
Okay, thank you, Yuval. And back to the presentation, please.
Sorry, one sec.
No, you're on the screen. You just got to hit present.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so one of the things that we've got involved here is that our capability for Tular is completely hands-free and fully automatic. The drone recovers to any moving vehicle on the fly, on its own. In this case, this is a trailer we're building for the United States Air Force with a Small Business Innovation Research Phase 2 project. And the drone on the right-hand side is flying in and out completely on its own. Nobody involved with it, both raising it and lowering it as well. Next slide, please. Now, a couple things about this is it's dual use, both commercial and military. We started off with package delivery, but the airspace today in the United States is not fully open. So what we did is we started moving into adjacent technologies, and that took us into the military. And we've gained tremendous traction in the military. We're starting to gain traction across some of these others that are shown here, especially in the oil and gas arena, which I'll explain in just a moment. Next slide, please. Our total addressable market, with just in the United States and just in two areas that we've modeled, the military is a $5 billion TAM, and the package delivery one is a $17 billion TAM. Again, just US, just those two verticals that are set up right now. The business models, we're going to be using direct sales, and we're going to be doing all of the high margin business, and we're going to offload the low margin business, which is contract manufacturing. Next slide, please. There's no other competing technology that's even close to us right now. When you take a look at the two axes here about being able to operate from any vehicle on the move and being agnostic to the drone, being able to capture and launch both rotary and fixed wing drones and adapt to actually the size that they come on in. All of the money currently today is being spent in the bottom left-hand corner coming from static positions. So the entire mobility of society is completely cut off from the ability to connect physical resources to launch a surveillance, use cameras or anything else that you want to be doing. And we own that top right corner. We have strategic agreements in place with 7 other companies, including drone companies. We're actively pursuing co-marketing, co-developing with all of them. Next slide, please. We've got deep industry experience. I'm a former F-15 combat commander, aeronautical engineer, and I'm the, like I said, the inventor of the entire concept. My second is a tremendous mechanical engineer who can basically build anything. We're backed up by a full team across the board of sales, business development, and engineering. We also have a tremendous outside board of directors. Doug is actually took an exit of over $1 billion unicorn, and Eric is advising companies of that same nature. Next slide, please. This is our strategic timeline. We started off in military contracts. We're slightly ahead of where the today line is. Just in the last month, the oil and gas companies have started approaching us. We've been approached by 3 of them to start putting Tular on board Ford F-150s out in the Permian Basin. I hope to have an announcement in the next week or 2 of the first one that's actually an investor and purchaser of Tular. And then we're going to move on into package delivery as the airspace opens up, hopefully near the end of this year or early into 2022. The other thing is that our patents are issued both in air, underwater, and in space. Next slide, please.
15-second warning.
Thank you. We've gained significant traction. We've got multiple contracts, 5 small business innovation research contracts across the military. 2 of them are phase 2s. We've just gotten another one with MIT where we're going after putting it on board an airplane, which is known as an Arsenal aircraft with BAE Systems. Next slide, please. We have $2 million investment potential right now. I don't need the money. The burn rate that I'm showing on the slide is already overcome by events. I'm now with a 30-month backlog in front of us for our cash burn. I'm raising $2 million to get an Air Force match of tactical finance of $1.7 million. Next slide, please. So I'm in a C2 round right now, raising $2 million, and I look forward to your questions.
Wonderful, Jeff. Thank you so much. Target Arm, panelists, floor is yours.
Is there a recurring revenue stream or is it just a one-time sale?
It's a one-time sale, but recurring revenue streams from both a software capability. So there is software that's running this that'll be licensed on out. Every drone company is going to be certified to fly onto Tular, and that will be the software SDK that we're running. There's also a maintenance package that goes along with this. You could think from an MSA perspective, maybe 18% for both of those.
You mentioned you don't need much money because you have significant backlog and so forth. How do you make this bigger faster? I see
that's why, yeah, exactly.
Immediate customers, but let's say you raised 8 million or 10 million, now or in the future. What would you do with it? How would you make this like much bigger?
Yeah, so what you're talking about, I've considered it. If I get this Air Force match, which is an application for 1.7, it'll give me 3.4. The idea there is that I'm going out to try and accelerate 2 components. One is our sales and marketing, build a greater team to bring in additional revenue. The second one is to start moving from 3D printing and prototyping and building stuff inside of our lab into contract manufacturing. And so I've got a plan already set up. Hopefully we'll be able to announce that in another month or 2 of working with an oil and gas company jointly to build a contract manufacturing pipeline. But that's where the extra money would go to. I don't want to do it yet because of valuations. I don't want to give away too much of the company till I need it.
Forget valuation for a second though. How does that accelerate revenue? What do you see as the difference between that plan versus the plan you sort of currently have? Oh,
the ability to bring in additional customers to start ramping up the design. Right now, we don't have the capacity to handle 5 or 10 productions of Tular simultaneously. And so we need to get the contract manufacturing, some of the early tooling, some of the molding that needs to go on. I would start buying that stuff and getting it prepared. So as their sales started going up with the largest sales team, the contract manufacturing is falling right in suit with that.
I got a question on the
Sure.
The commercial use case. So on the military use case, it's clear, there are times you got to launch it when on the move. On the commercial use case, why is there a real need to launch something on the move? What is the I understand the rest of them are doing statically, and I'm still not clear why in a commercial use case something needs to be like a drone needs to be launched while on the move.
Okay, I'll give you 2 examples. The first one is that Just imagine if you were to ask yourself that 25 years ago about why would I like my digital world connected to me while I'm on the move in a car, a plane, a train, not even thought of 25 years ago. And today you can't imagine without it. The same thing applies with your physical world. You're eventually going to be able to connect your physical world everywhere you go. You'll be able to have things delivered to you. You'll be able to send things from you, and it'll be seamless wherever you happen to go. That's the first thing on my long-term vision. The second thing is I've done financial modeling using FedEx and UPS initial information they provided to me. We've modeled it on out. When you actually take a look at what a truck driver is doing delivering packages, we see a 3 times improvement using drone delivery off of the same truck. In addition to that is once you actually automate the vehicle to actually deliver drones while it's moving, you can now make it an autonomous truck. It now triples that again to a 9 times because you're using it for 24 hours per day, 7 days a week.
So you're saying they use the drone for just for the last mile. So
It's last mile delivery, yes.
yeah.
I was like,